rights concern environmental challenges with a lower percentage of the population struggling to meet basic needs. Human rights violations such as habitual killing issue in the society comes to you on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10:30 a.m. to 12 o'clock p.m. Join our panelists Aliu Masale and Solomon Bakari from the US of A and the host Stephen Contour on Kings FM 88.5.
LBR.com.
When they were coming, they said they were freedom fighters. When they were coming, they said they were liberators. But when they eat their man, they change their mind. What kind of people they do?
They are freedom fighters.
What kind of people they do?
They are freedom fighters.
You freedom fighter, you raping our women.
They are freedom fighters.
Freedom fighter, you killing our children.
They are freedom fighters.
Freedom fighter, you destroying our country.
They are freedom fighters.
Ayo, 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 ayo. Ayo, ayo, ayo. Ayo, yo, ayo, ayo. Ayo, 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 ayo. Ayo, 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 ayo. Ayo, ayo, ayo. Ayo, yo, ayo, ayo. Ayo, 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 ayo. When they were coming, they said they were liberators. When they were coming, they said they were liberators. But when they came their crown, they changed their mind. When they came their crown, they changed their mind. What kind of people they come? When they were coming, they said they were freedom fighters. When they were coming, they said they were liberators. But when they eat their crown, they change their mind. What kind of people they do?
They are freedom fighters.
What kind of people they do?
They are freedom fighters.
You freedom fighter, you raping our women.
They are freedom fighters.
Freedom fighter, you killing our children.
They are freedom fighters.
Freedom fighter, you destroying our country.
They are freedom fighters.
Ayo, 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 ayo. Ayo, ayo, ayo. Ayo, yo, ayo, ayo. Ayo, 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 ayo. Ayo, 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 ayo. Ayo, ayo, ayo. Ayo, yo, ayo, ayo. Ayo, 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 ayo. When they were coming, they said they were liberators. When they were coming, they said they were liberators. But when they came their crown, they changed their mind. When they came their crown, they changed their mind. What kind of people they do?
They are freedom fighters.
What kind of people they do?
They are freedom fighters.
Okay, so it is another day, and this is how we would like to welcome you to today's edition of the program, Issues in the Society. I'm Stephen Conton. I'm here along with my colleague, Janan Pesima, and we hope to be joined by Solomon Bakari and that of Aliyu Masale there from the US. So it is good to be here on this Monday edition of the program, Issues in the Society. So we'd like to say a pleasant good morning to every one of you who following us, whatever medium through which you are following us this morning, whether through our social media platforms, through your radio, your various community, in your keke, your car, Whatever you are, joining this Monday's edition of the program, we want to say welcome. There are a lot of things to talk about, and so we urge you to share the live video and invite other people to watch along with you as well as we go on and on. And so for those of you who are following us via our various social media platforms, as usual, we are calling on you to share the live video, invite other people to watch along with you as well. And you can also have your say on issues we will be talking about here this morning. Through our comment section. That will be very, very much important this morning. And so, very quickly, let me bring on my colleague there from the US. But before then, Jenna is here. Jenna, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Compton. Good morning, Solomon. Good morning, Radioland, and all of our people that join us via the internet. How was the Valentine's Day?
Yeah, it was fun. It was great.
Okay, I will not say. I'll leave it.
Let's go to Solomon back. Now we're talking beyond the scene. So, good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Good morning to you. Good morning, Jennifer. And also to our wonderful people in Mama Liberia. And not forgetting my own and only nation that we call we. It's a pleasure to be here. But my man, I saw you on the soccer page. I'm looking for Jennifer, but I didn't see her. But I saw you in your white outfit, Compton.
Yeah, we played a game. It was on Saturday. Jenna Pesma missed out something. The media and we are all-star, right? Yeah, we play a charity football match on Saturday. Where many of the media practitioners were there. Kings FM, we had our bossman, yes, Mr. Wayne was there, Tisha Light was there, PRCA was there, and Sam Andrews, the business manager, Newton Tokpa, we all were there, and we played a game. But unfortunately, it's sad to say, I just never wanted to say this, but we nation men, let the trap people, right? I thought it was not to even talk about this because can you imagine what a football game go play the ball go be 14-3?
You can't be serious.
I'm serious.
Go there. What?
14? It was so sad.
We nation take you for telling me.
Yeah.
They disgrace them. That's why they didn't want to broadcast it on the news.
The next match, those people we bringing them in studio, that will be the next match for all the play. Because that era, you get the former world bears, right? You get a former world bears, the former president, on the feet. It's not too long for them. All these Emerson, Green Player, Eugene Namwe, all these guys. That whole Lone Star, we play their gun time. We're even logging the score till it goes on the people. Whole Lone Star, we play their gun, former Lone Star player. And so we told them that the next match, that on the radio, so the BR, we'll bring it on the radio, play the other match now. So we'll see who can talk. Yeah. Yeah, but it was good. It was very, very much good. The Bernard family, somewhere around the Congo town Bell there, who had that property, as I'm sure, yes, where CDC had a former party headquarters. Yeah, so one of their family members, they call her the late chairman Bernard. Yeah, she passed out. That was a memorial service in, to memorialize her death. They were able to organize that march and call on the media. We went there and we played. It was a very, very great moment, right? Yeah, you have a lot of media people from various media institutions, like our sister radio or Freedom FM. They had their manager, the Oliver Kine, Abu Sharif, and the rest of the guys. They were there, and other media practitioners from different media institutions. Yes.
So beside KOK, who's got the other goal?
Yeah, KOK score. The team about the men that score, the men that score, the men from Freedom FM. The KOK score, Abu Sharif score. And who again? One more person. Okay, Austin Kawa score.
Oh, I thought it was you.
No, I was playing defense. I was marking we are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, certain ball in my ground. I didn't even know how to make my to pass that ball where I say shit. You know, you say. Yeah, but we told AB now to score. You know, we can score our balls.
But if
Yeah.
you can really run an FSO,
Yeah, and the man get a forward, the man get a rubber. We told him, we said don't score. Yeah, we told the man now to score. That the reason.
but you can run.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, it
but
was
that was fun though. That was good.
Yeah, definitely. And as we're told, there will be an annual celebration. That is next year. Such event will take place again. Yeah, it will be an annual something like we were told by the family and also the former president. Yeah, the videos are all there. It was a very, very great moment for us as a media and also the We Are All Star. But to be real, those people they can play. Johnny Pessimana, all I have to say. We're even lucky
I
to-
think we need to organize a team between CEC and United Party. A nice soccer match.
Okay, yeah, you started initiative. But the both political leaders will play.
But that'll be a good thing. That'll be the day
So
we do the actual truth and reconciliation that the president talked about. I think that would be a great thing to do.
yeah, we look for.
To bring the two rivals together to see so that they can show your techniques in soccer.
That would be good. We look forward to that. All right, thank you.
And
Josh.
then we can probably have President Weah and President Boakai either playing checkers or playing Lulu and see who will win. That will not match.
Yeah, no, but somebody is telling us that when such a game will be played, President Boakai should play. The Pape should wear number 9.
No, but we don't expect him to actually play soccer because of his age and things like that. Even though he can just for the formality, he can do that because there's former president from Nigeria, Obasanjo, right? At one time, as old as he is, he was able for them to have those kind of friendly match and things like that. So that was good.
Okay, thank you, Solomon Barker Reeves and fellow Liberians. For those of you who are following us, we want to welcome you once again, and we are here. Josh S. Tembe is reporting that Sigman group, the workers, right, in Grand Bassa County as Sigma. Hope I got that name correct. The workers are protesting as we speak. I really don't know the reason why they are protesting, but activist Josh Tembe is reporting that. I hope you can just give me more detail on this particular situation that is happening there in Grand Bassa County. Josh, you can send me full details of this. So it is good we are here, and there's the first week edition of the program, Issues in the Society, and there are a lot of things to talk about. There are a lot of things to actually talk about here on today. A lot of things have been making rounds in the country on various social media platforms. So we will be looking at those issues. Unfortunately, Friday we were unable to come out due to some technical problems, so we're unable to come up. But it is good that we are here today, Solomon Barker Reeves and fellow Liberians, right? Now, looking at this, with this first edition, right? The first talking point is the issue that has to do with this Prophet Key situation, right? Since this particular issue has happened, the Supreme Court, right, made a decision to send him to jail for 6 months. There are a lot of people who have their own say. Some people are legal people, and others non-legal people. There are a lot of people who, say the decision by the Supreme Court is selective justice, owing to the fact that the action for which the Supreme Court take that decision, right, took such a decision happened to other people around here. And so because it happened to members of the Supreme Court or the Chief Justice, now they are taking or they have taken a decision, while other people say, yes, it is true. that it is time now the higher court takes such a decision to set a precedent. So we'll be giving our own perspective on that. And the second issue would be there's a formation of what is called the Fula National Security. If you go on social media, you will see. I'm going to read a press statement when we start to discuss that particular issue, so that you can be able to listen. The reason why the Fula community in Liberia, right? They have formed. The community has formed a security group. Others say that particular group has been in existence. They argue that they got report from, the LMP gave them the go ahead to do that. We'll also see how best to speak with the police spokesperson, Mana Cecilia Clark, on this particular issue, so that we can know as to whether this particular group is a legal group and what that means for our security sector. If you have a particular segment of our society coming out to form a group, to protect themselves. So these are things we'll be talking about. And but now with this issue, let's go over very quickly to our people who are following us via our various social media platforms. We have Paris Slobot, thank you. Patricia Brown, thank you so much from the ERW era there. Spencer Mohammed is also following our Wolo. Nathaniel, thank you so much. Spencer Mohammed says, I'm very grateful to God Almighty for making it possible for me to live up to my commitment to the King's FM family by confirmation number. Okay, I really don't know, but anyway, thank you. I'm not really getting this last part of the text, but anyway, thank you. Spencer Mohammed. So now let's go over now to Solomon Bakari. Solomon, you have been following this issue, this saga between the Supreme Court and that of Prophet Key, right? You have been following this particular issue, and let us get your take on the decision by the Supreme Court coming, Solomon Bakari.
Yeah, but before going to that, I think previously on the discussion, are we going to talk about the abandonment of our chief Sansan, because Coward, I think that was indicated.
Yeah. So that will be done exclusively for another time. So if you follow the chat,
it's not going to be today. I already told the son that we're going to be discussing some of those issues, because that was what I read over there. So
also check the chat room. We updated that, please. Just check the chat room.
Okay, then it's not a problem.
Yeah, go ahead now. Go ahead. Thank you so much.
Well, when it comes to the Supreme Court decision, of course, we said what they were actually holding on to. I read it. Liberians are very, very smart, especially those that we put in higher authority. They know very well that using profanity or cursing at anybody, that is not a case that will be a Supreme Court case. And we argued about that. So the decision that the Supreme Court made, it was more sentimental than judicial. But then later on, instead of focusing on Key abusing the Chief Justice's mother and the Chief Justice himself, they were not actually focusing on that. But majority of the Liberian people, the reason why they were applauding that judgment was because that decision for the Supreme Court, it was not because they accused the government or the Supreme Court as people that taking bribe. That was not the reason why the Liberian people they were jubilating and were saying they were in favor of such a decision. They were in favor of that decision because Prophet Key has always been denigrating our culture in our society. We don't just use a woman cause or man cause or anything like to any of our women or of people in authority. So that was why most of the Liberian people, they were saying what they were saying. But the Supreme Court, they kind of shifted it when we started talking. They said, no, if we do this, that is going to be a big disgrace. And of course, that is going to be a big disgrace to the Liberian judicial system, because you don't take anybody to the Supreme Court because they curse at you or they curse your mother. And especially if that cursing the person is doing to the Chief Justice or member of the Chief Justice, if that was not done when there was judicial proceeding. In other words, if I were to be in the court and then the court made a decision and I don't like the court decision and I started insulting the court, they can hold me on a criminal contempt. But that was not the situation with P. Other people mentioned about Honorable Tiaji, about the statement he made. And whatever statement he made, they charged him for contempt of the criminal contempt of the court, and they started bringing all of those stuff. All of those things that they talk about, it was not in the case of Prophet Key. Yes, we know that two bodies, two branches of government, they have the contempt, code of contempt power. That is that of the legislative and the judiciary. Okay, so they twist it around. They use the elastic language. The same thing that you say in our country, that any other law that a lawmaker they will deem necessary in our constitution that will deem necessary, they can make those laws and will be binding. And because our people they are very, very smart, what do? They started raising their own pension, something that even if the person died, they'll be receiving this and all of that. But there was nothing put in there for the Liberian people. So they will say, well, that is a law, because they themselves, based on that phrase in the Constitution, they were able to make law that benefits them instead of law that benefiting the country. So we see all of these elastic languages that people have when it comes to those stuff. The judgment, because they twisted that way, and Prophet Key, he admitted to that, and then he was begging for leniency. So the court, they have the upper hand to justify the abuse of power. Okay, so that's how I look at it. It's an abuse of power and undermining the lower court. If they were to emphasize the whole thing I brought about this Supreme Court something, it was because the Prophet Key cursed the Chief Justice. That's what I heard. Pastor Key cursed the Chief Justice's mother. That's what I heard. And those things, they compounded to Prophet Key being order to be put to the Supreme Court for hearing. So that was it. It's abuse of power. And secondly, according to the Liberian Constitution and the law, the punishment given for that crime is way beyond what is allowed. The maximum jail time, according to our law, should be up to 5 days, not 6 months. So that is still abuse of power, because this is political in nature. But they try to frame it in a way that, well, this is criminal contempt of the court. So they use that and they say, oh yeah, well, he said that the court accepting bribe, or the court then accused and they have to prove it. How many times the United States government or other people have condemned Liberia as a corrupt country, or the court system as a corrupt court system? How many times have they called the U.S. government in contempt, a criminal contempt of what they said that they cannot prove? How many times? But this is political in nature. It's a lesson to teach Prophet Key, because of cursing at the Liberian people, and especially cursing at this, but they twist it around so that they say criminal contempt of the court. But if it is criminal contempt of the court, you find a man, if the man does not have anybody to build him out, okay, then he will be in jail until somebody can build him up. But the maximum jail is going to be up to 5 days. TJ did what, 3 days? Okay, so what is going on in our country is the beginning of silencing people that want to speak up against the ills in our society, especially by government. Of course, the executive does not have contempt power, so they will never apply that to anybody. But because the presidency controls the judiciary, because when the judiciary made their opinion on some cases, even regarding the saga of the House of Representatives, the executive, in collaboration with that fraction of the legislative body, they disrespected the court. Nobody was called in contempt of the court. Nothing like that. So, in my opinion, this is undermining the lower court, and also abusing of power. And that's how I see it, and that's how and to me, that is the reality. If they want to hold me in contempt to prove that what they are doing, it is not politically motivated, if it is not a public outcry or influenced by public opinion, then I stand to be corrected. But all of the things that the Supreme Court did, because of the public pressure on key for cursing everybody, opening up his mouth and just cursing people, so that the people say, this is it. But we have a lot of cases that's supposed to be brought to the Supreme Court that they are not even doing that. Where is the criminal contempt of court when Mo Ali, because I listened to Mo Ali one time on one of these stuff, where he said that the court, especially the probate court, and all the probate court, the magisterial court, all of them fall under the judiciary umbrella of the Republic of Liberia. So if somebody is denigrating the court, then of course the court is supposed to hold that person in contempt. So when Mo Ali said the court is correct, when the probate court, they take bribe and then they change people's deed, and then that particular judge will change the person on the name, and then they will reprobate that court, that land, and put it in the person's name. All of those things he said. Where is the denigration that he brought to the court system? Where is the contempt? But because Key started speaking against the government that he brought to power through cursing, through abusing, through profanity, he started speaking against the same government that he brought to power by cursing. And because he started bringing the government to power, they're using that. And what we have to be mindful of, if you say anything like, oh, the Braga government is corrupt, they can hold you in contempt, and they're going to use either the legislative branch or the judicial branch to hold you in contempt to prove that Liberia is corrupt. So what they are doing, we have to have an open eye to see that this is silencing people from talking. Those kind of things were done during previous administration. I would say that the Congo people regime, they have their frontier force, they have their somebody that will go, anything that you say against government, they arrest you. Those are the same thing. My fear is those are the things that are coming back, and that is the beginning. If we, as a citizen of the Republic of Liberia, we don't look at this thing and technically, and we say, oh yeah, publicly, but he's cursing and all those. So I read what possibility wrote over there. Some of the things that they put in there, yes, the law is there, the terminology is there, but they are misplacing those words. I saw where he said malevolence, criminal malevolence, and criminal malevolence does not apply in this case. But because those words are there and people have the power, they're using that. We as Liberians should be very careful, because our freedom of speech, freedom of expression is going to be conditional. Because if you cannot prove that Joseph Braga is using public money to build something in Foya, as you've been saying, they can hold you in contempt to prove your case. And this is where we are heading. So we got to be very, very mindful. The Supreme Court case, it was very sentimental than judicial, and they started teaching it differently to say, okay, the man disrespected the court. That's why we do this. But it was not the man disrespecting the court. but it was because of the cursing that he did to the Supreme, the chief justice and his wife. But they started changing it around. So that's my opinion. That's why I wrote something and I sent it in our chat room there so that you guys can go over it.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much. I saw that and I read through it as well. Anyway, thank you for giving your own perspective on this particular issue, right? Let cross over to Jenan.
And you guys can make a research. That particular crime that they charge him for, it does not, unless they just made amendment in the Constitution and that of whatever law they make, it does not warrant to 6 months imprisonment. The maximum is 5 days.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, Janet Pessiman, on this issue, you have been following this particular issue since last week, since it happened. I think it was on the 13th, on Friday, since Prophet Key was sent to court. There have been a lot of opinions from different people, from different sectors of our society, giving their own opinion on the Supreme Court's decision as well as the attitude of Prophet Key. A lot of people have their own things to say. Let's get to you on this issue, Janet.
I sort of have said it all. For me, I would say before I continue that the judgment was selective.
Okay.
As I said, because we are all traditional people. We are Africans. You know very well how it is when you want to insult your leader or somebody who's older than you. This is somebody who have been insulting a lot of people from time immemorial. That's even how I got to know him. That man insulted Julie Andy the other time. So bad. That woman took her case and they frustrated her. They never set any precedents. They never took any stand. They never even said, okay, what? We're going to judge him and make sure that he stays in prison for 6 months like they just did. But then because it is him, yes, because it is him, then he wants to take the stand he's taking. But I know they just want to silence the critical voices. You get my point? Nobody say that you should be for a political party. Once you are against this political party, you are free to criticize, but not to go the way they are going. And then the government, when it was in that term, they supported it. They enjoyed it. It was something funny. They laughed. There is not a day that Prophet Key would speak and not insult somebody's mother. I don't hate him. But by the time I come across his page, I just swap past it because the way he behaved is so bad. And they were enjoying it. At that time, they were opposition. It was so good for them. They enjoy. In fact, the man said he's the one that brought Unity Party to power. That's why he's there. And so he has the right. He even said, if I can curse Josh, we are mother. What's about Yemi Gbese? You see those kind of things he's saying? This judgment was so selective. And if they have put stop to it from the onset, if you have your child and you're allowing your child to be disrespecting people outside every time and it's funny to you, just know that one day that child will disrespect you. So that thing that they're putting him in jail for 6 months doing this only because it is their own problem or it is against Yemi Gbese, whatever they do, let them do it. But I want to tell you, the people we brought in power to take care of us, they don't care. They only care about themselves. So whatever decision they decide to make, put him in jail for even 1 day, 2 days, as Soro said he's supposed to spend 5 days, whatever they let him put, I expect them to put, a law that these things should stop. We are Africans. I don't think even in Western world, the people do those things. I stand on
yes,
correct.
they can do it. People can insult, they can curse at people, especially in the United States. It doesn't really matter. I don't know about other countries, but here you can curse. You can curse the president, you can curse the president, you can curse the president.
We are not supposed to them. That man is a traditional man. I'm truly against what he does every time. I'm against it 100%. There are other ways you can handle situations. There are other ways you can go about things than to stand up and insult people's mother. That made I don't know if you listen or follow the Judy and this case. That man called that he named that lady whatever he wanted to. Even the George Weah. There are other ways you can criticize people. For me, I am against it so much. I even wanted him to go to jail for 2 years, that he know his roots, where he's coming from, and who he is. That's all I
But
have to
see,
say.
like in Liberia, even though it is we are traditional people, but there is no law. Even though they call public nuisance or cursing things like that, but those are not something that is a crime. The traditional people that we have, Liberia has a traditional setup that we call the in fact, how they call it, the one that Chief Zandankara was heading. And I like your traditional something,
The traditional council.
Yeah.
a traditional council. If you really
Yeah.
get tradition in a country, how many times the tradition I want to defend and the people that are the leader of the tradition, how many times did you ever hear any of them to say, well, you're cursing, so we're gonna bring you to our traditions, even though it is not in the constitution of Liberia about cursing and all of those stuff. But traditionally, culturally, these are not allowed. So how many times did they do that? Not at all. Even when they removed Zankawa from there and they brought in whoever the new person, not one day any of them stood up to speak against our tradition. Not even the Western tradition that we have, the mechanic craft, the UBF, and some of the other sororities that we have. Not one time any of them will come out and say, "Look, we have a society, and in our society, these things they are not allowed."
Yeah.
So that was the point that I'm making. If they
That's why
are
we
not
want them to start
considered,
doing that now, because it is getting out of hand. So
okay.
it is getting out of hands.
Definitely.
Mhm.
And thanks so much, Janet Persiman, and also Solomon Barker Reeves. But let me read this. When Solo were talking, he made mention of the Constitution, right?
Yeah.
Just look at Article 74 of the Liberian Constitution, the 1986 Constitution surrounding matters of contempt of court. And it says, the Constitution says that in all matter of contempt of court, whether in the Supreme Court or in other courts, the penalties to be imposed must be faced by the legislature, right? Now, this penalty must be conformed to the provision of fundamental rights in the Constitution. Like you were saying, the Constitution never specify this issue, right? Now, the Constitution does not itself never lays specific punishment for contempt. Instead, it requires that laws passed by the Liberian legislature determine the sanction, either fine or imprisonment, as per the person's own judgment. Like it was done in Key's case, right? In Prophet Key's case, right? Now, this law must respect constitutional rights, such as due process and fundamental freedoms. All right. So I just wanted to make that clear so that we can go on. Now, with my take on this, Janet Persiman, Solomon Barker Reeves, and fellow Liberians, most especially for those of you who have been following this platform over the past months, this is something we talked about on this platform over and over about the issue that has to do with people, having pleasure in abusing other people. We talk about these things, and I said this, that there will come a time that these things that we are entertaining in our society, that nobody wants to speak against, none of the government officials, none of them want to speak against this issue. And they themselves, they are also taking the lead to be abusing around here. Evident by what we used to see at the Ministry of Information, Jared Lime Pia and him men, the strapping past leaders somehow and anyhow. We spoke about this issue, and this is where we are today. Look, I said this, that this may be a precedent case or a precedent decision taken by the court, but again, it has an undertone. Like both of you have said, we were around here. Now, doing the homecoming or coming home, however they call it, of the ruling unity party, right? If you see on the screen here, fellow Liberian, for those of you who are following us, right?
Yeah.
You will see the president of the Republic of Liberia.
Yeah.
And the character we are talking about here, he graced that occasion, and the president shook his hand. They were all laughing.
Yeah.
And we made mention of the particular picture. We said this thing that what we are celebrating today will haunt us tomorrow. And that is what's happening. There are other people who have argued that, the people who Prophet Key has been causing, some of them, they never took issue, and the Chief Justice took issue, right? Granted. So where will you leave the issue that has to do with the former cultural ambassador, Mana Judy Andy? That woman cried bitterly as a woman knocked her chest.
Yes.
And she even told Liberians that she would have naked herself to go to the executive mansion if nothing would have been done in your case, right? But people were able to talk to her not to do that. That lady cried in Morovia here. They're saying, Chief Justice, today that we have, are we supporting Prophet Kid's behavior? No, under no condition. That is what I said. It is a good decision, but, it has an undertone, different undertone. A lot of people have said that, the court is now coming out, one, because it is the Chief Justice who is involved, his mother is involved, and so you are quick to take that decision. And other people have said the court is not taking a decision to go after or to silence critical voices in our society. Look, we talk about this thing over and over. That they think what I can be saying, it's simple English that so people can understand it. That they think that our government endorsing, and they taking side on. It will be bad for our society today. I, as a person, I don't really listen to keys or video and other things. No, I don't, because the way the brother goes about abusing ladies and doing other things is so bad. And we have been saying these things over and over. The lady went down and they say Chief Justice. They say Chief Justice, he was Associate Justice by then.
Yeah.
And every one of them. One legal advisor in Ushube Keita, who works in the president's office. The man was quoting the law. The man said the thing that Prophet Key did to Judy Andy. Prophet Key never committed any crime. So they told the people about them, that particular case, that case, they took it outside. Today, they threw that case outside, and the woman is living with that particular grief.
Yes.
And she's not the only victim. There have been a lot of victims.
A lot of them.
And no action was taken. Because today, it is the Chief Justice. And so decision has been taken.
Yeah,
look, we cannot be doing these things in our country.
But the ruling of the case, it was not based when we were making that decision where they had in contempt of the court is not because he cursed the Chief Justice or the Chief Justice mother. That was what was because that was what they were portraying. But then when they realized that is nothing for you for Supreme Court to cost somebody. So that's why they changed it around and they're holding in contempt because he said that the court is corrupt. The Chief Justice himself, or they take bribe to do all of this stuff. So that was a decision that they made. It's not because Prophet King cursed people. So today, what we the Liberian people know that we say, oh yeah, it is good, is because of not what they said before. But this contempt, a criminal contempt that they're talking about, it has nothing to do with him cursing the Chief Justice or the Chief Justice mother or anybody for that matter. He said the court is corrupt. The dignity of the court, the Chief Justice is corrupt. He's taking bribe. And that's why the Chief Justice said, okay, we're going to hold you in contempt so that we can prove that we taking bribe and all those stuff. That is it. It is not of Prophet King's behavior that we know that is not good, for which the Supreme Court exonerated him, and then they didn't say anything. So,
Yeah,
what they say is that some people say,
Solomon,
and some people
Solomon,
say, if Liberian women could naked themselves and lie down in public, protesting, those are also, they are inappropriate behavior, as well as somebody who is cursing is inappropriate behavior. So they were not making that decision based on this man foul mouth or his profanity. So that's the point I want to propose.
I listened to the ruling, right?
Okay.
There was a time, they even told him that he should, I think, write in newspaper to inform the people that he will not abuse women again. So that would be one of the reasons why they took that decision, and that's what we are saying. You know how many people. Okay, come to think of this, right? We have our own man Mo Ali here, right, who accused judges around here, and those people didn't take any action. So this particular action, as I continue to say, was taken, or Prophet Key was called upon because he went afar by abusing the Chief Justice, a mother, and even the Chief Justice himself. So I think the argument now should be around, why is it that, Prophet Key said, the man is corrupt, the man have businesses in Nima that run it. Come and show proof. This, I think, the argument should be around. But no, you tell the man to go in newspaper to write and all these kind of things. So why do you expect the Liberian people to say? If not because he went afar after causing, all the prominent people in Liberia here. Then you would tell it, say, oh, I pass out the present man, I pass out the present part, and abuse people here, and nothing has been done. Evident by people even taking a particular matter to the court, but the government through their own legal people will go and tell the people that no, there is nothing in this. Why? Like I said, we are not supporting that. But if we're talking about justice in a country, it should not be selective. All right? It shouldn't be that, because I don't have the power, I'm not close to power, so if somebody hurts me and I carry my issue before the court, because I'm just a common person, and so the court will throw that particular issue out. But when it happens to somebody who is in power or somebody who has power, then the court will go about taking decision. We have been saying this thing over and over. There are people who don't have money. When they go to court, they don't look at them. But the people that have money, that are close to the power of the day, when something happens, you see how judgment can be passed down.
Yeah.
You see how judgment can be passed down. And another thing, we have been saying this thing over and over. Honestly, we have been saying this thing over and over. When the government of the day is on your side, they place a blind eye on the other person. We saw that in Kofa's case here, right? We saw that. We saw what happened. They said Chief Justice. They said Chief Justice stands in the impasse. The impasse that were at the House of the Representative. We all know what he said. We all know what he said. So if Liberian people come in to tell him today that the reason why he did XYZ, that because of the extent at which Prophet Key went to curse his family, then it will be right. Let me bring on Ali.
What I was saying, if you have the ruling, let me know, because if the ruling was based on Prophet Key cursing the Chief Justice, then that is not anything to hold somebody in contempt.
Let's bring on Ali Masale on this issue.
Especially when it was not done in the courtroom. The cursing was not done in the courtroom.
Ali, are you there?
Good morning, Solomon. Good morning, Gina. Good morning, Stephen. Good morning, Mama Labria. Can you guys hear me?
Very well.
Yeah,
wonderful. How was the weekend? Yes. I see Gina stay enjoying her body time whatsoever.
Yeah.
No, Jennifer.
Yeah. That's cool. Solomon, he said something very important. The way in which the country is looking now, heavily divided. If the Unity Party, these people, they really came to serve our country, And like the president always say, we had to build this country. We will build this country. We need to reconcile. And 3 years now of his administration, he's still setting up committees to see how well they can reconcile the country. Like you talk about having autonomy between the Unity Party and CDC. I think if they could think in that direction, and you are a UPS, I think you can start pushing
No,
on for
no,
all the
the other day I renounced. I'm an independent person.
You think, man, Jim, man.
But you can stay you independent, yeah. So play independent role by reaching out to both parties and see.
You are in the best position now.
Yeah, in the best position to see how the both party can plan autonomy and carry on. That would be good. I think that can help. Yes, but to the issue I have been following, yes, I'm just hitting the road this morning, 7 hours for North Carolina. Let me just take a break. Yeah, but this whole Prophet Key Bene, well, like, bro, we have to be very careful. How will you put a prophet in prison? That's not good. This man is a prophet. Then you catch him. You catch him putting behind bars. But to this issue, like you guys, everybody on the same thing here. This is sentimental. This is selective justice. Like we have been saying, and I always say, when it comes to the Unity Party, everything about them is being done selectively. And this is the problem I have with them. They will say, oh yeah, we had to set precedent. Yes, if you want to set precedent, do it holistically, not selectively. Or nobody going to support Prophet Key. I will never ever in my life, even in the next words, or support such an individual for what he carries on. Because forgetting to know that you were born by a mother, you have a wife, you have sister, and I think you even have a girl child. And where you always denigrating women, you say you are advocating. That's not advocacy. Okay? People been advocating in Liberia over the years before we were born. And today people are still advocating around the world. We don't see people going on public platform to be insulting people, mothers, insulting women. And you have made there is no pride and dignity to our motherhood anymore. Nobody going to support you for that. And even the 6th one, for me, I thought say it was going to be something like 10 years. They're talking about 6 months. You see? Yes, because that's not good. What Prophet Key normally does is not good. They don't represent us. You call yourself traditional man. These things, they are not good for our society. But again, they see Chief Justice, this man, you always contradicting himself. We saw what happened during the legislative impasse. Today he come out, he said they say, oh, that liquor talk, because later on again he come out. So this whole thing is just that people said the reason why he reversed his statement during the legislative impasse when they went for the hearing and thing whatsoever was because he was promised the Chief Justice position. And that's why you saw him change the tune at the end of the day. And the people said it, and we knew, yes. And today he's the Chief Justice. Where were you when Judy Andy, she took Prophet Key to the Supreme Court? And you sat there, you were there at that time when one of Joseph Waka 50 advisors, or Kushi Ben Keita King, quoted Kamara Wakana Abdullah or Identity, and Prophet Key was set free. So today, if you people are doing things transparently, sincerely, holistically, where is the Kushi Ben Keita today that Prophet Key have been taking for the scene Marcos thing that he couldn't come to quote this eye for them to let him go? Where is Kushi Ben Keita? But this is not about Prophet Key. Stephen, I told you, and Solomon just said it. This is something they are doing to silence critical voices in the country right now. So now when you come out, you say, oh, yes, Joseph Waka is corrupt. The other person corrupt, this and that. They say, oh, yes, we carry you. When you cross down, they will say, oh, yeah, we carry you. They're trying to silence people. It's not about Prophet Key. Their target is Yeke Koluba. If the Unity Party ever had that power, but now Yeke Koluba is no more a lawmaker. But he was elected just as they were. So these are things that they try to put around. Even though you lawmaker, you have freedom of speech, but you see this and that Prophet Key day today. Even that one to even set a Prophet Key for using profanity to carry in front of the full Supreme Court bench. That alone will lower the standard of the Supreme Court. I don't know. We expect to see this kind of thing in one of the oldest country in Africa under a responsible and well-educated people government to take a Prophet Key because of causing you carry him. So what become of all of those allegations? Prophet Key say you're corrupt, or you're taking money from business people to give them property to make Liberian homeless and things. Why you people they didn't discuss all of this issue? I thought that was the issue. If Prophet Key insulted your mother should be the one to take issue with Prophet Key for insulting her, not you. Your mother is an adult, not you, because you Chief Justice. But this is Liberia for us. The fish, when the head is rotting, the entire body is rotting. If we have a president that does not respect the Constitution, the rule of law governing the country, so his surrogate and everybody will follow the same lead. So because President Bakana respect the Constitution, the Chief Justice will say, "Myself, I can do whatsoever I want to do. First of all, I'm a Chief Justice. Who will call me? Who will talk to me?" If our president don't respect the laws governing our country, these are some of the things. But nobody support Prophet Key. They like it. For me, they put in themselves for 10 years. But that's not the issue. We don't want to see people causing in our country like that. How will you be the prosecutor? You want to be the juror at the same time, or Yami Kokre? So you want to recuse yourself first of all from that whole issue. Let the other judges and then they handle it. But you start there. And if Prophet Key was legally guarded and minor, if he had people there with him, they were to ask Yami Kokre to recuse himself in the first place. But these things are happening in the country. This is not about Prophet Key. They are trying to silence all critical voices in the country.
Okay.
So if you think you will just go on air now, you say Joseph Bakai did, or Gafunwa did, this other person did, this other person that, then they're ready to quote all their law there, they're going to put you behind bar. It is not just Prophet Key alone. I remember when the guy named your EFBC director of Fagon, when he said it, all that things that are happening under we are administration, when we take over, it will not happen. That causing Jeke Koluba can be doing it, it will not happen. And this is why they are driving at.
Okay.
And yesterday, these same people were the ones, according to Prophet Key, when you got to know that causing Marco was bad when I was causing and to bring Joseph Baka to power. And when Prophet Key was causing women in the United Party, they call themselves women. They were in America, in Canada, in Australia, other parts of the world, sending Prophet Key money. They will be glued to their radio, to their phone, because Prophet Key was causing George Weah, causing Judy Annie, causing Claire Marie Weah, causing Michelle Taylor. Being opposition, we have to be very careful of what we do and what we say. If we come back at all tomorrow.
Of course, it definitely.
Yesterday, you can call you our insulting. Yes, today you are saying you crazy man. Everything that was good yesterday is bad today. What a deception and hypocrisy for Unity Party. This is not good.
All right.
But that's not good for us. We pray for a better country, and we look forward to see how best President Wakai, I think 3 or 4 more years for him to transform our country. Thank you, guys. God bless America. I'm following and hitting the road again.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Aliyu Masale. But then, looking at the time, we may not go to our second discussion point. But then, I would like to play the ruling so that our people can be able to listen to it, and our panelists too can be able to get exactly what I was talking about. So let us play
1 second, please, Stephen. Like Solomon said, so what will the Supreme Court do to Mo Ali? Yes, because when you listen to that Mo Ali audio, I think they're supposed to call him too, for him to go and bring evidence of what he's saying. That's what we want to see happening.
My brother. People know what
okay, all right. So let me play this. Is a 3 minute, 30-second audio. Let's play it. Then from there we can go to
public pressure, public perception.
yeah. Let get this.
For the years, engaged in methods, liberal languages. For the years, engaged in methods, liberal languages, affinity.
It's kind of low.
Permanent agreements.
Okay, yes. So let me see whether I can get this from this end. Janet, that would be good for us. Let's see.
Women, and now the mother of the sitting chief justice.
Okay, let's start it over.
Yes.
So that's what I was talking about. That the ruling was basically based on Prophet Kid's action to abuse women, right? And also, of course, the Chief Justice mother. There's the audio. Let us listen to it. Solomon Barker Reeves, as I said.
Content.
Okay, let's listen to this.
For the years, engaged in methods, liberal languages, affinity, and all right abuse against criminal adherents, especially women, and now the mother of the sitting Chief Justice, his action run contrary to the spirit, letters, and intent of the Constitution. Hence, his actions constitute contempt of the Honorable Supreme Court and punishable as such. Therefore, if you're the foregoing, the contender is hereby judged guilty of criminal contempt, and the court hereby imposes a definite certain imprisonment term of 6 months or 180 calendar days at the Monrovia Central Prison, and prior to his release, it is hereby ordered to publish a letter of apology to the Supreme Court and to all adherents, especially Liberian women, in 3 widely circulated newspapers for 5 consecutive days. And in addition, it is further ordered as a precondition to his release to execute and file a behavior bond with the clerk of the Supreme Court, clearly indicating that he will never use invectives in people languages, affinity, or outright abuse.
Okay, so I just wanted to get this, but let me read this very quickly. Then we'll go to the lines, right? And we told you people that there's a motive behind the Chief Justice's decision, right? If you really look at this particular decision, you'll see some bit of anger. And Janet Pesima,
Yes,
yes. You'll see some bit of anger. So let's get this. A content of court is a legal offense that occurs when someone disrespects the court's authority, disobeys a court order, or interfere with the administration of justice. The types of content, we have several content. It happens when someone fails to comply with a court order, that which I'm not sure Prophet Key did, right? And when they call for him, he went. Okay, so then we have here, like they said, the content is criminal content. So let us look at what it says. They said criminal content involves action that disrespect the court or obstruct justice. Example, probably insulting a judge during proceeding, or disrupting a trial, and nothing of such was done. So when we tell you that because the man went afar, and that which we not support by abusing the Chief Justice mother that the reason, you listen to the ruling, that's what it says, right? You listen to what was said in the ruling, for which they sent him to jail for 6 months because he abused the Chief Justice mother. That the reason why. And so all those people that were abused around here, the victims of Prophet Kid, they are nobody. And because of that, they don't fall on the side of the power of the day. And so because of that, their cases were trashed out. Their matter was not looked at. Let's go to the line, Jennifer Sima, hear from our people and go home. 077-223 9933 0886 304497 07779800375 are the numbers to call us and make your point on issues we are talking about. Yeah, Jenna, take the call.
Good morning. Your name and where you call from?
Let's hear you. let me just tell you something. The issue about the putting property in jail is actually for the opposition head. That is that the organized crime property is for the power of raising so that fear the opposition, that fear tactics to put fear opposition. That is the constitution about contempt of court. You can pay for it when you are hearing contempt. There's not tell you a lawyer, they'll tell you, but the contempt of court, you say one person say 1,000 pounds, but you see contempt of court, you want to say go to jail for I think that's king. You have to discuss the whole time on the thing. We got leak, we got keep to discuss about the party, we share money, how we can straighten our party. Now talking about property, going to jail. That's moral. That's what I think they do that about stuff.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Jenna.
Yeah.
I'm patient. We're calling from the door.
Okay, let's hear you, patients.
Jenna, if you want sorry, I check the people on. So what can after you? And nobody should criticize Baka or a official. And we are advising Baka. If you are arresting her for insulting you and your official, your people shouldn't insult common person. We are a people. They shouldn't insult person. We are a people. You should advise your maker. They already insulting person. We are, and we say we did okay. So when you're arresting people for insulting you and your official, will start to your own people. God, when they continue to insult person, we are, then the lawyer part they will break. They will definitely insult Baka and official. We know what they are trying to do. They coming out for that trick. When they hold you up, what they can say, hey, you found me, we know all the tricks. But God will be with you. Nothing will do with you. God be on your lane. We know that people know what they after. But Baka, advise your children. When they insult, we will insult you and your woman. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, patience. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, your name and where you call from?
Yeah, this is Jones King Betty calling from the Japanese freeway.
Okay, let's hear you.
Yeah. Let me say thanks to the both of you for defining contempt of court. I did not clear to the public that Prophet Key was never sent to prison because of contempt of court. If you look at what they say, it's a complete contradiction. Like your police read, they respect the court ruling or interfere with judicial ruling, which of course is clear. But they say they point back based on the fact he insulted the Chief Justice. But here's the case. The Supreme Court is the final arbiter of justice. Where did the case start from? Where did it start from? Did it start from the lower court? That's the question I'll continue to ask. Before case goes to the Supreme Court, it should start with the lower court. So the imprisonment, let me just say, is completely wrong. It's intended to cut down freedom of speech. It is what they are now doing. But to Prophet Key, for me, I do not support inventors. I do not support people going abusing people within society, not just prominent people within society, but all of them for that matter. You see, and a difficult government here, Prophet Key, yesterday. They gave it all here for insulting people. Let me ask the question: where's Judy Annie's case? When you talk Prophet Key complaint to the lower court, they threw it out. Why did they put it out? Why? Is she not a Liberian? We are all equal under the law of this nation. We are all equal. Why they threw it out? You see how they continue to be exposed in the country judicial system. Indeed, it's corrupt, and selected. It is what they are doing, is what they continue to tell we, the ordinary people, that indeed you have no value within our judicial setup. It's all about the privileged few. For good day.
All right. Thank you. We have a good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Your name and where you call from?
Yeah, I'm coming from call you from Howard.
But I need to walk away from your monitor.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, sorry.
Let's hear you.
Anything you do under the sun today, you must know your who will come after you. Just forget about everything. United Party government came to destroy and to kill by us.
Thank you.
Thank you. There's a person from this Lone Star Lawn. Hello.
foundations for the public. And for that, we're talking this morning for our unknown destination. We have to be very serious manner as a country. What does that mean? I'm speaking to the regime. I mean the purposes or rescue regime that what it brought to power, what it brought themselves today. They say it is not. We're not for that. Let's be very clear with you of content. I mean, we're not for that. They really planted. They will maintain it as well. Fish. They will maintain it. All of them, they were maintained. All the former presidents they were maintained. So they were maintained in the constitution. They were backing it. What they were when they step out to the president here there or David Amakuma and were reading the Amakuna command law for USP. What was it? What was them? If you want to ask the what he just did, that was showing he's not benefiting the people because he sat there, he ruthless, he shot at the former president, letting the back for our protect mother. The father was coming, he was laughing, and when he celebrating that today you want to fish, when you're a part of that, you measure it as they was the tears. But the issue for reconciliation for the
No, we are not talking about that. We're just saying that in passing. Let's hold you there on that particular issue and take other people speak directly to what we have talked about.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Why now? Because the people, they keep their people on the bench at the time when I call it, this, for the key issue. Everybody will come to you will start it at the time. But because of the model, not because of the model, it's who they call for every one of us. That is not a deal with the president. So they are doing it to check everybody to put people including me and men. That was given every one of us. And I'm a property teacher from the day ever said property, the lawyers do, but bringing four getting up, bringing Africa, all the one is family. But because of something, so they want to do it to clear every one of us. Not because of property, that's the video for property, but they do the national lawyer against for time, going into the case. So I'm not going to do it because the guy is lawyer outside the country. I listened to school last time and we were discussing it. So this country is government for all the business. I don't know that the brother or member will get it brother will use a national.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's get to the line.
Thank you. Good morning. Yeah, hello. Your name and where you call from? Yeah. Yeah, I'm getting you your live. Go ahead. Your name and where you call from?
Apparently, brought down for the guy went down in a comfortable there. Let me say good morning to Rakoni. Good morning to former President Brothers here. I said, I appreciate both of you on the platform. But every time I had an opportunity and the second by the people have not ourselves. And through the grace of God of the year, the powers of the previous nation, all of you on the platform get all my brother opportunity every person we are. Say and do what we are saying. All of them get my brother opportunity. I want to see you smack yourself. Somebody on the platform. So I want to appreciate how much they are. But what I do, that's why they all do long life. Although they were a political secretary and the Nigerians, they are all Nigerians. We are all equally follow the law.
Thank you. Thank you.
I want to say, brother.
Say that quickly.
Yeah, I want to say that we are thank you. You know, as former governor of this country, and the member of the Labour Party, Governor was here, when the property was something for the real man. And property is of our country, they're not going to care for now. Oh, look, let's see something for Nima can say, I am for stop for Nima. You know, the Labour Party, most of the houses are very bad, they are very powerful people for now. I want to give you our
I saw you there. There's another person. Hello.
Good morning, man.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Contra.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
They straight to send Prophet Kido quote. But what happening in the country now? The place will never be all. Nigeria here. We know how they can judge the case when you go low there. Some of the PSA, they place for me are breaking down. They want to break the whole of that down. They say they straight. Why they keep you straight in their court? No, Chief just said, please, we want to see that you're doing it right here. Now for you to put your friend in jail, your colleague in jail to protect. Thank you, Mama.
Okay, Mama.
Okay, thank you also.
Good morning.
Good morning, man. How are you?
I'm okay. Your name and where you call from?
I'm Abraham K. Duple and I call from Bushra Island.
Okay, let's hear you quickly.
Thank you. It's better late than never. But the issue of prophecy did not start just right here. There's a complete team from Marcos and Marcos 11. That team was established by a group called CPP. Headed by Benena Yuri, our Senate Pro Tem, Yobri Kaka Lawrence, Arizona Cummings, and our current president. They formed that team. That team is captained by Honorable Yeka Koruba, number 9 by Hera Costa, number 6 by Prophet King, and they started to talk to the Ministry of Information. So thank God I try to dissolve that thing. But I want them to apologize to those that particular thing have done some injury to and have taught our children a very bad way of addressing political issues. So it's not just with the issue of Prophet King. That thing has a very bad history against the former ruling party of President Weah. Thank you very much for the time.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's get Edmond Carr from this end. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. How are you?
Yeah, fine.
You don't want defending against President Weah.
Yeah. The man still got skills in, you know, the idea, skills, everything's still there.
Yeah, I already missed that thing. I already did something, yeah. But anyway, you know, this issue is very high, difficult to discuss because the legality associated with all of these things. And if I was in conversation with my brother on Saturday, the same issue about this thing, you were telling me the same thing, you know, the amount of time that they gave him to go in jail for, and he's not supposed to be. But however, they call it John all way on John rights. So that's also then. We're on John right. Because you see, you can't play call and you expecting to eat cassava. When you play cassava, you eat cassava. The supporter they see that spy, we were here during our government time, and we decided that we will focus on development instead of running behind every little thing and go waste our time. Yeah, we cannot be responsible for that. We didn't do it. That is the reason. Not because we were weak, we could not carry it to court, or were a friend of the opposition at that time. We could not take a decision, but we wanted to focus on development. And all our team moving the country forward and just forgot about some of these things that were happening. And one of the problems that I had time when Malanjuri and the captain went to the court, we rather wonder how to rather pursue that case. Because you see, one thing again about the court issue is that you got to go to the court with your issue. So when the lower court threw that case also, that's why it was in one of the court as Supreme Court, we thought that she could have braved the storm to take appeal to the bench. But I think she just said, well, enough for the team, but I can't waste money, and then she just let it go, and then at the end, the jury also they forgot about it. Who did that? The legal advisor to the president. You know, but for Prophecy going to jail for me, let him go in jail to appeal for what he had done. Then the ruling said, for he causing women, and the letters on the blood, the Chief Justice mother is going in jail to pay for it, because that is immoral. That is the immoral aspect I'm looking at. The legality, no, I'm not there. And our legal policy, politician like you provide more clarity on that.
Thank you.
But the immoral aspect, let him pay for immoral act. When you listen to that guy, the thing he can talk, you can't cause me.
Okay.
You can cost.
All right, Edmond.
Let you pay for your action.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. So, Mr. Chief Justice, right? Senator Amara Conan. Amara Conan also said the entire code, right? The code system in Liberia here is corrupt. It means all the codes in Liberia here, they are corrupt. So want to see the next action. Want to see the next action. The man that he said the subordinate codes, right? All of the codes, they are corrupt. The entire justice system in Liberia here, the man said every one of you corrupt. So want to see as a whether another action will be taken. Let's take Masisi, then we go home onto this edition of the program. Masisi, you are very last caller.
Good morning. Thank you. At the last caller, I think I will enjoy my time.
No, but I want minute.
I'm okay.
Okay. Yeah. Like becoming a Jews, and the Jews no more in the country.
You just change your name now. Masisi, what?
Let me say out to myself, man. That's how I call you the last. Let me say out to Solomon there. The we nation, man. No, I disagree with my brother. Ed Moka. To say he embraced, but they may go to jail. I disagree with him.
Okay.
For me, I'll go against the idea totally. They see me go on what he need. They may level allegation against him that is corrupt. Because a lot of things in Liba can't say that for him. That's what he came to go, right? They may were insulting our mothers. We the mother were insulting us. Even personally, we have wealth. Even the wrong book for him. We go to the now you see that book there. He read that book every day and then. For just we have wealth. I'm telling you every story. They were here, they were everywhere. On our sister, people bed. All those things happen all at once. They couldn't take action. Hold out. Some of my guys say, oh, talking for women. He's the thing that man said about him. Then he can't tell us all that too. Because I want to hear from him that we corrupt. And you put a corrupt. What the man say that too? But nothing is talking about in the community. They say, oh, I'm talking for women. Your mother have the right to sue Mr. Rule Prophet. You have the right to sue him. Now you go sue him. You the player. You the this, you the that. What can I say to them? What's the international wire right now? They're discussing Liberia. Our court system. They're discussing all the international wire. You see, it's good for us. I found it new yesterday.
That can happen with great sentiments in justice system.
It's no. The man say, oh, the men go to jail. No. I just agree with it that it's system for the kid to jail. Tell them free the man immediately. Tell them free the man. They rope the key. The message you wrote can't prove it to us that you now wrote. I want to say to the people of Nigeria. The independent program to power the kingdom change things, not this thing. Our who are then focused that we open nothing in our war. But the very people that say, oh, your man, they say you wrote. That's what to us. What you now wrote? Thank you, Papa.
Thank you so much, Masisi. Let us hold you there and go over to our team now as we get their closing statement. We go home onto this edition of the program. Ali Masale.
Yeah. Thanks for the caller. Yeah, Masisi, sorry I missed your call the last time. Yes, I was a little bit busy. Yes, but one of the caller asked a very important question. Taking Prophet Key to the Supreme Court, where did the case start from? Okay, because before you take somebody to Supreme Court, they came and has started from somewhere else, maybe other code, maybe the lower code, criminal code A, code, all your small code there. Maybe it should have started from somewhere and then finally ended to Supreme Court. But taking Prophet Key straight, carrying him to Supreme Court, and it's just there to like intimidate other judges on the Supreme Court bench. Because all of these people have cases rather in court that they are there to take care of. So if you will go there, you want to say, oh yes, or we can do this, we can do that, or we're supposed to follow this other channel, then at the end of the day, those cases that you guys are handling, when you get to Supreme Court, the Chief Justice too will see what to do about it. So it was just like intimidation of other judges on the Supreme Court bench that there was nothing they could do, but just to allow what the Chief Justice wanted. Okay, it almost like in a arson case, according to Baka, when the capital bidding got when he got there, he said this is an arson case. So that the same thing, taking Prophet Key straight to Supreme Court, all the other judges on the Supreme Court bench, there is nothing they will do because why? He was summoned there by the Chief Justice himself. But that's Liberia for us. My sissy, woman, you know, Prophet Key did this thing during our time. But for me, I think taking Prophet Key over there, it will make other people now to stop. Like I said, this issue is not about Prophet Key, it's about all critical voices in the country right now. So the freedom of speech going to be sanctioned in the country right now. You have to be very careful what you say, because it will use Prophet Key as case study. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Aliyu. Solomon Bakari, we already running. We are out of time already. Just a few seconds. Just close up very quickly.
Yes, thank you very much. I said that earlier. That was, I mean, the charges was out of place. When you talk about code of criminal contempt of the court, it is clear that it is not. It's something that is somewhere outside that has nothing to do with court proceeding and all those stuff. Secondly, it is the honor money of the lower court, and then thirdly, even the consequences given or the penalty given for that, it is more than what that particular crime that they're talking about, what it warrants. So we all know that is an abuse of political power, and right now it is left with the legislative body. They one can really question the Chief Justice, because if nothing is done, they will continue to do that. It was sentimental, it was political, it was public outcry. That's why they did what they did, and they got away with it. And then Prophet Key, he admitted to that. So that's why nobody can really plead for him, because he already pled guilty. But again, thank you very much for the show. That's Liberia, and that's our country.
Thank you. Janet?
Yeah, just want to say thank you to all of us that were part of this show, and we wish to see each other on Wednesday.
Okay. And so this is how we go home on today's edition of the program, Issues in the Society. We say many thanks to you, all of our callers, and also for those of you who follow us via our various social media platforms, your comments and other things. We say thanks. Wednesday, by the grace of God, who will be here with another edition. Do have yourself a blessed day.
Exclusive from hotlbr.com.